Welcome back to the channel Liberty Old Coin, where history meets hidden treasure, and ordinary moments can turn into extraordinary discoveries. Today's story might completely change the way you look at everyday objects around you. First up, today we are talking about one single coin, the Australia 10-cent 1978 featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Yes, just one coin, but a coin with a powerful story and surprising value potential that collectors across the world are always searching for. The Australia 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1978, the country was well into its modern monetary system, and the Royal Australian Mint continued producing this denomination to support everyday transactions across the nation. The obverse of the 1978 coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Mackin. At that time, she was the reigning monarch of Australia, and her effigy symbolized stability, continuity, and the Commonwealth connection that shaped Australian identity during the 20th century. On the reverse side, the coin proudly displays the iconic Lyrebird design by Stuart Devlin. The Lyrebird, one of Australia's most unique native birds, represents the country's natural beauty and distinct wildlife heritage. This elegant design makes the coin instantly recognizable and highly collectible. The 1978 mintage was significant, but what makes certain examples extremely valuable is condition. Coins preserved in brilliant, uncirculated, or near perfect mint state condition are incredibly desirable. Collectors compete fiercely for pieces that show full luster, sharp detail, and no wear. The coin was struck in cupronickel, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Its durability allowed it to survive decades in circulation, yet finding one today in pristine condition is far more difficult than most people imagine. Over time, as coins were used in daily life, many became scratched, faded, or damaged. However, a small number were carefully stored, possibly saved in rolls, sets, or collections. These untouched examples are the ones that command impressive prices in today's collector market. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1978 Australia 10-cent coin is the presence of rare mint errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, clip planchets, or die varieties can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible treasure. Collectors are always hunting for standout pieces from the 1970s era, especially coins connected to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II during a period of global economic change. That historical backdrop adds emotional and symbolic value beyond just metal content. In high-grade mint state condition, a 1978 Australia 10-cent coin has been known to reach impressive auction results. Exceptional certified examples have the potential to reach prices of $2,000, or even higher, depending on demand, grading, and market timing. If the coin features a strong strike, full feather detail on the Lyrebird, and radiant original shine, its desirability increases dramatically. Professional grading from respected third-party services can further elevate its market reputation and selling power. The beauty of this coin lies in the fact that it was once everyday pocket change. Imagine something so small and common becoming a prized collectible decades later. That transformation is what makes coin collecting so exciting and rewarding. The year 1978 itself holds historical relevance as Australia continued developing economically and culturally on the global stage. Coins from this era serve as miniature time capsules, capturing the spirit of the late 1970s in metal form. Serious collectors often seek complete year sets of decimal coinage, and high-grade 1978 examples fill important gaps in advanced collections. When demand rises and supply remains limited in top condition, prices naturally climb higher. If you believe you have a 1978 Australia 10-cent coin, carefully examine its surface under good lighting. Look for crisp edges, original mint shine, and any unusual characteristics that might set it apart from standard circulated pieces. Selling such a coin at the right time, especially through a reputable auction platform or coin dealer, can unlock its maximum potential value. The key is patience, proper storage, and possibly professional authentication. So yes, this single 1978 Australia 10-cent Elizabeth II coin can be truly valuable, especially in rare condition or with unique mint characteristics. With the right combination of quality and demand, Its maximum selling potential can climb into thousands of dollar range. Before you ignore your loose change, take a closer look. That small silver-colored coin could be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, your next great find might already be in your hands. Next coin, the 1979 Australian 10-cent Elizabeth II coin, is a fascinating piece of currency history. And you are absolutely right to wonder about its potential. When we talk about coin collecting or numismatics, the smallest details can sometimes lead to the biggest surprises. And your 1979 10-cent piece is a perfect example of why you should never overlook the spare change in your pocket. This coin, bearing the young effigy of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold McKinn, is a snapshot of Australia in the late 1970s, a time of significant change and development for the nation. The reverse, featuring the magnificent Lyrebird, was crafted by the renowned designer Stuart Devlin, who was responsible for the iconic imagery on Australia's first decimal coins in 1966. So, right off the bat, you are holding a piece of art and history rolled into one small 23.6 millimeter disc of copper nickel. Now, let's get down to the specifics and address the big question. What is it worth right now? If you were to find a standard 1979 10-cent coin in your everyday change, one that has been used in transactions and shows signs of wear, its value is essentially its face value of 10 cents. The coin was released into circulation in massive numbers. According to official records, the Royal Australian Mint struck a staggering 36,950,000 of these coins in 1979. That is nearly 37 million pieces, which immediately tells us that the standard circulated version is not a rare coin. Dealers and collectors often refer to these common date coins as filler, meaning they are easy to find and only used to complete a basic collection. The metal itself, copper nickel, has no significant melt value, so there is no profit in melting it down. However, the game changes completely when we move away from the average circulated coin and talk about condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. A coin that has been preserved in a flawless state, showing no signs of wear and retaining its original mint luster, is known as an uncirculated coin. A 1979 10-cent coin in this pristine, uncirculated condition is where we start to see a real premium. For example, a single 1979 10-cent coin that has been carefully preserved, perhaps still as brilliant and fresh as the day it left the mint, can command a price of around $4 or even more from a coin dealer. This is a 40x increase over its face value, which is a significant jump. This alone proves that your 1979 coin absolutely can be valuable, provided it has been looked after. But the potential doesn't stop at just a $4 coin. To truly understand the maximum possible value of the 1979 10-cent piece, we have to look at the pinnacle of coin grading. Professional coin grading services, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, evaluate coins and assign them a grade on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded 70 is perfect, with no marks or flaws visible even under magnification. For the 1979 Australian 10 cent, PCGS data shows that they have certified some at an astonishingly high grade of MS68. This means the coin is in virtually flawless uncirculated condition. The key piece of data here is that PCGS has certified 212 coins at this MS68 grade level or lower, but crucially, they report 0 coins graded higher than that. This means the highest known grade for this coin in the PCGS population is MS68. When you have a coin that is the highest grade example of its entire year, you are no longer just buying a piece of metal. You are buying a piece of numismatic rarity. While the price guide may not list a specific value for an MS68 1979 10-cent piece, the implications are enormous. Such a coin will be the finest known example. It is a trophy piece that serious collectors would compete to own. In the auction market, the value of such a coin could be exponentially higher than a standard uncirculated one. We are talking about a coin that could potentially sell for hundreds, or in a competitive auction environment, even thousands of dollars. Why? Because it is the best of the best, a perfect specimen from a mintage of nearly 37 million. Will your specific 1979 10-cent coin be that $1 million rarity? Statistically, it's unlikely, but that is not the point. The value lies in the potential and in the hunt. The coin you have might be a high-grade example waiting to be discovered. If you have a 1979 10-cent coin that looks like it was minted yesterday, with sharp details on the lyrebird's feathers and no nicks or scratches, you have a coin that is immediately worth more than its weight in gold, so to speak. Its current maximum value, in a retail setting from a dealer, for a certified MS-68 example, could realistically be in the range of several $100s. The maximum potential it holds is a chance to be that 1 in a million finest known specimen. Looking to the future, the value of this coin is likely to increase. Collecting decimal coins is a growing niche. As the years pass, the 1970s become a more distant memory, and coins from that era become harder to find in pristine condition. The 36 million coins minted are slowly being lost, damaged, or collected. As the supply of high-grade examples diminishes, the price will inevitably rise. We are seeing this happen with earlier decimal coins from 1966, which are now commanding healthy premiums. The 1979 coin is on that same trajectory. It is a piece of Australian history, a piece of the Queen's legacy, and a piece of art. As time goes on, its cultural and historical significance will only add to its monetary value. The history of the coin itself adds to its allure. Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952, and the young bust design used on your 1979 coin represents her as a relatively young monarch, a stark contrast to the older effigies seen on coins today. This design, combined with the lyrebird, an animal famous for its incredible ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds from its environment, creates a powerful symbol of Australia's unique identity. The lyrebird is a fitting emblem for a nation that was, and still is, finding its own voice on the world stage. Holding this coin is like holding a small mirror to Australia's past. So, when you ask if it can be valuable in the future, the answer is a resounding yes. The value is not just in the coin itself, but in the story it tells and the condition it's in. The 36.9 million coins minted ensure that common, worn examples will never be worth more than a few cents. However, for the collector who has the foresight to preserve the best examples, the future is bright. The maximum value it can achieve is directly tied to its grade. We are not talking about a coin that will make you a millionaire overnight, but we are talking about a coin with real, tangible potential for appreciation. If you are motivated to find out what your 1979 10-cent coin is worth, the first step is a simple, honest assessment. Look at it closely. Does it look like it's just been minted, or has it been through the wars? If it looks exceptional, it might be worth sending to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The cost of grading is an investment, but for a coin that could be graded MS-66, MS-67, or even MS-68, that investment could pay off handsomely. The market for high-grade Australian decimal coins is strong and getting stronger. Think about the journey of this coin. In 1979, Australia was buzzing. The iconic film Mad Max was released, and the country was embracing its cultural identity. This 10-cent piece was there, passing through hands, buying newspapers and ice creams. Now, decades later, it has found its way to you. You have the chance to be the steward of this little piece of history. You have the power to decide its fate. Will you spend it on something trivial, or will you recognize its potential and preserve it for the future? The message I want to leave you with is one of hope and excitement. The 1979 Australian 10-cent coin is a sleeping giant in the world of coin collecting. It is common enough that everyone has a chance to find a great one, yet rare enough in top condition that those who do will be rewarded. The maximum price it can fetch is not a fixed number. It is a moving target that only trends upward as the years go by. It is a hidden gem in plain sight. Do not listen to anyone who tells you it is just a 10-cent piece. They are looking at the face value, not the potential. The true value is in its condition, its history, and its future. This coin is a reminder that value is not always obvious. Sometimes you have to look a little closer, dig a little deeper, and appreciate the craftsmanship and history embedded in the most ordinary objects. Your 1979 10-cent coin is a testament to that fact. Second coin, the 1980 Australian 10-cent Elizabeth II coin, is a remarkable piece of currency that holds a special place in the nation's decimal history, and it is absolutely a coin that deserves your attention for its value potential. When we talk about the specific year, 1980, We are looking at a coin that sits right in the middle of Australia's transition to the late 20th century, a time when the country was solidifying its cultural and economic identity. This coin, with its iconic Lyrebird design and the graceful young bust of the Queen, is more than just spare change. It is a miniature time capsule. The Royal Australian Mint struck this coin in significant numbers. But as we will discover, the numbers alone do not tell the full story of its worth and desirability among collectors today. First, let's journey back to understand why this coin was built and what it represents. The 1980 10-cent piece is part of the first generation of decimal currency, which was introduced into Australia on the 14th of February, 1966. This was a monumental shift for the nation, moving away from the complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the simpler decimal system of dollars and cents. The new coins were designed to reflect Australia's unique natural heritage, and for the 10-cent piece, the government chose the superb Lyrebird. The reverse design was created by the talented Stuart Devlin, whose initials SD can be found hidden near the Lyrebird's foot, a tiny signature on a national treasure. The obverse features a second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland diamond tiara, an image of youth and stability that graced Australian coinage from 1966 until 1984. So, how many people want to buy the 1980 10-cent coin? The answer to this is where the excitement truly begins. The demand is driven by two very distinct groups, and understanding them is key to unlocking the coin's value. The first group consists of everyday collectors who are building a complete set of Australian decimal coins by date. For them, the 1980 coin is a necessary piece to fill a gap in their albums. These collectors are numerous, and they create a steady, consistent demand for the coin in any condition. You can see this demand reflected in the market, with numerous sale offers available for this coin from various sellers around the world, proving that there is always someone looking to add this year to their collection. However, the second group is where the real value and excitement lie. This group comprises serious, high-end numismatists who are not just looking for any 1980 10-cent coin, but for the absolute best example they can find. They want coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, and most importantly, they seek out the special proof versions of this coin. In 1980, the Royal Australian Mint did not just produce coin for your pocket change. They also struck a limited number of 68,000 specially made proof coins. These are not ordinary coins. They were struck on polished planchets with specially polished dies, resulting in a mirror-like finish and incredibly sharp details. It is a specific version of the 1980 10-cent coin that sparks intense competition among wealthy collectors. Now let's address the big question. What is its current value, and is it really high or low? The value exists on a vast spectrum, and this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. If you have a standard 1980 10-cent coin that you pull from your pocket, one that has been in circulation, and shows a typical wear and tear, its value is essentially its face value, which is 10 cents. With a massive circulation mintage of over 55.6 million coins for that year, the common, worn examples are everywhere and hold no premium. You can find these common coins for sale for as little as 16 cents US, which translates to just a few cents above face value in Australian dollars. So, for the average circulated coin, the value is low, but that is not the whole picture. The value becomes incredibly high the moment we shift our focus to condition and the type of coin. A standard 1980 coin that has been miraculously preserved in uncirculated condition, with its original mint luster intact and no marks from handling, immediately jumps in value to several dollars. It is a 40x or even greater increase over face value. But this is just the beginning. The true maximum value, the figure that makes this coin a hidden gem, is reserved for those 68,000 proof coins. These are the ones that serious collectors are desperate to own. Because only 68,000 were made, they are inherently scarce compared to the circulation strikes. Finding one in perfect condition is a challenge, as even these specially made coins can develop tiny imperfections over the decades. This scarcity drives the demand through the roof. How many people want to buy a perfect, graded example of the 1980 proof 10-cent coin? Based on population reports from professional grading services like PCGS, we can see that very few of these 68,000 coins have achieved the highest grades. For instance, Data shows that for a specific designation of the 1980 10-cent coin, only 41 have been graded higher than a certain level, meaning that pristine examples are exceptionally rare. This rarity is what fuels the fire. When a coin is this rare in top condition, the number of collectors who want it far exceeds the number of available high-grade coins. This is a fundamental economic principle of supply and demand, and it is what pushes prices to their maximum. So, what is the maximum prize, the highest potential value for the 1980 Australian 10-cent coin? For a standard circulation strike in the highest possible uncirculated grade, we could be talking about hundreds of dollars. But for the 1980 proof coin, the one with a mirror-like finish, the potential is exponentially higher. A proof 1980 10-cent coin that has been graded and certified as being in near perfect or perfect condition, such as PR69 or PR70, is a trophy piece in the numismatic market. Such a coin could realistically sell for several hundred, if not well over $1,000. In a competitive auction between two passionate collectors who both need this specific high-grade coin to complete their world-class collections, the maximum price could soar even higher, potentially reaching figures that would make you gasp. The history of this coin adds immeasurably to its allure. It was built to facilitate commerce, to be a workhorse of the Australian economy. It was used in countless transactions, buying cups of coffee, newspapers, and milk. It was there during the economic shifts of the early 1980s, a silent witness to history. The lyrebird on its reverse is not just any bird. It is a symbol of Australia's unique and ancient environment, a creature famous for its incredible mimicry and beautiful tale. The coin connects you to that natural heritage. And the young Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse connects you to a monarchy that has been a constant for decades. This deep historical and cultural significance ensures that demand will never disappear. It will only grow as time passes, and these coins become harder to find in top condition. Looking to the future, the value of a 1980 10-cent coin, particularly the high-grade and proof versions, is poised for growth. As the years roll on, the 1980s become a more distant memory. The generation that grew up with these coins will seek them out for nostalgic reasons. New collectors enter the hobby every day, and they all need a 1980 coin for their sets. The 55.6 million circulation coins are slowly being lost, damaged, or collected, reducing the available supply of nice examples. The 68,000 proof coins are already snapped up by savvy collectors who recognize their long-term potential. This dynamic of ever-increasing demand against a shrinking supply of quality coins is a recipe for price appreciation. Your 1980 coin is not a static piece of metal. It is an asset with an upward trajectory. Therefore, do not let anyone dismiss the 1980 Australian 10-cent coin as just another piece of change. That is a shallow assessment based on its face value and high circulation mintage. The true story, the exciting story, lies beneath the surface. It lies in the condition of the coin in your hand. If you have a 1980 10-cent coin that looks brilliant and new, or if you're lucky enough to possess one of the 68,000 proof strikes, you are holding something genuinely valuable. You are holding a coin that is in demand right now. With a proven track record of high prices for top-grade examples and a future that looks incredibly bright, the maximum value this coin can achieve is not a myth. It is a reality for those few perfect specimens that have been preserved and certified. We are talking about a coin that could be worth $1,000 or more, a far cry from its humble 10-cent denomination. This is a kind of hidden treasure that motivates collectors to check every roll of coins they get from the bank, to search through jars of old change, and to attend coin auctions. It is the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that you might be the one to discover that one-in-a-million coin.